Thank you so much for staying with us. Charles Fakraha, IBrandTV senior analyst, joins us now for in-depth analysis of the top stories. Thank you so much for joining us, Charles. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigerians.
Let's begin with this directive coming from the CBN saying that banks should transfer funds in accounts that have been dormant for up to 10 years into a trust fund. And this is, of course, contained in the recently released exposure draft of guidelines on the management of dormant accounts, unclaimed balances, and other financial assets in banks. So, of course, this implies that if your account has been dormant for 10 years, you would forfeit your money or whatever funds you have in it, except, of course, there's also a caveat to it saying that you would get your money back after 10 days. Help us better understand what this implies.
Well, it's a mixed feeling because, yes, the central bank has the right to promulgate or bring out policies, rules, regulations to run banking system. However, when you are doing that, you should not do it to kind of undermine the customers or depositors. We have a similar situation in the capital market in terms of your dividends. Of course, there is a law already that says if you have dividends and you didn't claim it for the past 12 years, then automatically revert back to the company that pays that dividends, and the company can use it for their processes or to improve on their operations. Now, when that was done, people kicked against it that if you cannot claim it for 12 years, the money should be sent to an unclaimed dividend warrant trust fund. Yes, a lot of investors kick against it, that government just want to make available funds for people to embezzle, and that did not see the light of day. Now, coming to apply that in the banking system now, for me, I don't think that is appropriate for now, because first of all, you need to understand why are these bank accounts dormant for the past 10 years. One, it could be that the customer, who put the account, and of course the family members are not aware, and you can have a lot of huge funds in that amount in that account. So it should be unfair, and the family members or relations, the loved ones are still around. Maybe the bank owner, the account owner is late. So a lot of enlightenment and awareness should be done first of all, so that people should, that their loved ones have died, they should be able to know where they have any financial assets. You don't just convert, I see that as conversion. Government trying to convert people's assets, to themselves. Even if you claim that, yes, you are going to be having a fund, that the monies will be there. Of course, you will have an office for that fund. You will appoint people to manage the fund. They will pay salaries. And at the end of the day, these monies will not be properly managed. We have seen it happen in the past, and I don't think that would be appropriate for now.
Yeah, but what can customers do? Because, of course, they are proposing this already, and it looks like it's backed up. It's going to be backed up by some form of guidelines. And they're saying that they're going to invest it in securities, government securities, and Treasury bills, and then it would be returned to the owners not later than 10 days. Isn't that infringing on the rights of customers?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's infringing on their rights. However, that's why we as personal finance experts, we are saying, if you open an account or you have any financial asset in any bank or any financial institution, please have your documentation right, so that when you pass on, your loved ones can
be aware.
See those documents, be aware, and now process it to get the benefit. That is the essence. Because, and that's what we're talking about, estate planning. Every individual, old, young, rich or poor, you must have a form of estate planning. So whatever financial transactions you have gone into, have documentation so that when you pass on, when the good Lord calls you, your loved ones will have a document to process it. If there is no document, they are not aware. It will just remain there and be dormant for the next maybe 10 years and come down saying, we will not use it to buy this, buy that, and when you come, these persons will not come. We have seen cases of where somebody dies on a Friday or a Monday. The family cannot see. Also, as a stockbroker, I've seen cases where we're able to retrieve money that has been the dividend warrant from for individuals, and those monies were enough to build a house for the children and send all of them to university. Now, if those funds have been transferred to one kind of fund, and these beloved family members, the loved ones, do not have access to that money at the end of the day, what happens? So I think a lot of awareness still needs to be done before these guidelines or regulations will come into place.
Hopefully they would look in that direction, because of course these are people's monies, and it's quite unfair to just do what you feel you can do with it without their consent. But let's move on to the aviation sector. The aviation sector is in the news again for all the wrong reasons. This time around, the workers' unions have threatened to withdraw their services over the refusal of the federal government to release the reviewed condition of service negotiated over 7 years ago. Other grievances include the non-implementation of the national minimum wage, consequential adjustments and arrears for workers of the Nigeria Meteorological Agency since 2019. And of course, this is coming in a notice of a 2-day warning strike signed by the Secretaries General of 5 aviation unions. That's the National Union of Air Transport Employees, Air Transport Services, Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Association of Nigeria Aviation Professionals, National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers, and the Amalgamated Union of Public Corporation Civil Service, Technical and Recreation Services Employees. What are your thoughts on the fact that this is already posing another threat to business, to the business environment?
Yeah, thank you very much. You have said it, aviation again. This time the workers. And of course, workers have that their fundamental human rights to complain where they are not treated very well. If you have negotiated a transaction 7 years ago, what is wrong or what has happened that your employer cannot meet up those renegotiations? Again, we see this in the part of not only the aviation employer, but the aviation authority. Generally in Nigeria, you don't take workers serious. And of course, we know from elementary economics, the labor is also one main factor in terms of production. Nothing will happen without the laborers or the workers, manpower doing something. So we will blame the employers for that. But at this critical time in which we are trying to revive the aviation sector, more investors to come to that sector to connect Nigeria to the rest of the world, because aviation is key in any economic development, we are seeing the aviation authority behaving this way. I'm appealing to the workers to try and see some understanding. They even mention one of their grievances, minimum wage. Is that too big for the aviation authority to meet? So at times we begin to wonder what is the situation. And of course, you can see workers, they just wake up one day and they are on strike. They're already giving a 2-day warning notice. So the authority should not wait to allow them to get to this level, because strike is the last resort of any labor union. They must have had some other engagement before coming and taking this decision. The decision to go on strike is not done by the union president, but the entire ESCO and all their members all over the country will come to an agreement and say, yes, this is our last resort. So for me now, the problem is with the aviation authority. Let them get back to their table, see what they can do as quickly as possible to avert any strike in the aviation sector, because at this time, we can't afford another issue in the aviation sector.
Well, they have said that if the scheduled strike, the warning strike, which is supposed to start the 17th of April, fails, that they would embark on an indefinite strike. And thankfully, you have already, expatiated the fact that it is quite worrisome that issues as simple as their minimum wage are not being attended to. It is quite sad. But let's move on to this next story, and this is coming from the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, disclosing that Nigeria exported cashew nuts worth 116 billion naira. That's in 2022, according to the director, the executive director of the NMPC, that's Dr. Ezra Yakusak, who said this in Abuja at the launch of the Organic Cashew Certification Program for Export. Is saying that Nigeria is now the 4th leading producer of raw cashew nut in Africa with about 19 producing states. Is this good news for the country, or do you think we probably should have surpassed this level?
When it comes to export of our natural resources, I would say, especially agricultural products, we've not been able to add value to get the real value for these agricultural products. Yes, at this stage now, I think it's a good news for the country that we just need to ensure that we meet international standard when it comes to our produce.
So what do you think, what more do you think can be done to boost production? Because of course, export is one of the major sources of forex. If we must boost our forex reserve, and if we must improve or deal with all of the challenges we're facing with foreign currencies, then we must boost export. What are the steps you think we can take to further improve on this?
Yes, thank God the climate is right for production of that cashew. Now, research has to go into so that we can see how we can maximize yield per hectare. Research is key, and we have a lot of agricultural universities, research institutes dealing mainly on agricultural products. They need to intensify their research to see in terms of yield, in terms of storage, in terms of processing of this product, so that by the time it's exported, like you have said, we need to earn a lot of foreign exchange to boost our foreign reserve, at the same time increase the value of the naira. But most importantly, we must be able to process this product, this agricultural product. Don't just planting it and harvesting it raw, because it is only when you process it, you add value to it, that you get more value when you export in the international community. So all effort and research will get towards the yield, increase yield per hectare, at the same time increase the value addition before we export.
The same thing, same issues we're having with our crude oil. Of course, ensuring that we're able to add value to it and then exporting. These are some of the issues that have already been on the front burner for some time now. We hope that attention is paid to it in the coming days. But let's talk about this story coming from NEMA. Daytime temperature is likely to be above normal across the country this year, leading to losses of agricultural production. That's according to the federal government on Thursday. It disclosed this in a report released by the Abuja National Emergency Management Agency on how to mitigate impact of climate-related disaster. And they explained that the climatic conditions of 2023 would have diverse impacts on various sectors of the economy as expected. They've talked about agriculture, domestic animals, leading to losses and impact on water. We were just talking about production of cashew nuts in Nigeria, boosting production, and of course using that as leverage to boost foreign currency or forex in the country. But apparently there are predictions that the climatic change this year would be a bit higher than normal. They've talked about rainfall being higher than normal. Are we taking steps to prepare for all of these strange occurrences, or this a bit above normal occurrences?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Valali. You see, when we talk about climate change, sustainability, climate scenario, is a whole lot that we need to begin to discuss it. And of course, discussions are ongoing. Climate change is there. We are seeing the conditions that are giving rise to this climate change. We need to, first of all, mitigate those our actions that we do to destroy the environment. You have talked of the adverse effects of climatic conditions that we're going to be experiencing this year. They represented increased rainfall, flooding as compared to last year, and it's going to impact on agricultural activities. Yet, some of the local things that I see people have been doing from my own experience being in the local community for now. Yes, awareness is key. And I'm so surprised that even the state ministries of agriculture, you don't even have that kind of department that will go from village to village trying to tell the farmers what and what to do before this we experience this kind of climate change. How do you store your products? What are the things you need to do? There is nothing like that. It's only when they will just keep talking and talking and talking. Only when the problem has come, you see them trying to say they want to send them relief and palliative. One, what I've seen the local farmers doing here is particularly very, very impressive. They know that they have a lot of yams after harvesting. And for those yams, they are not properly stored. So what they have done now, the yam barn that they have built, they built it very high so that they can put their yams, and when the flood will come, it will not touch those yams that are there. I've also seen them trying to preserve cassava stems. You know, they build this barn so high, and all the stems, they place them up. So that when the flood will come as a result of the climate change, it will not affect it. They will still have cassava stems that after the flood they can still use to plant. So all these are from the locals themselves. What is the agricultural extension people doing? Nothing. You come to climate finance. What is the government doing to ensure that people involved in practices that are environmentally friendly support green agriculture, support green consumption? Government is not doing anything. Well, we must give kudos to some of the agencies like NINET that gives information about the rainfall and all that. It is not just to give this information, but to also give education, also create awareness as to what people should do. We have irrigation farming. In fact, the excess rainfall, the flooding, can be turned to be something good for the farming community. Proper drainages in each of these communities, proper embankments on the rivers that are surrounding these communities. A whole lot of things need to be done, and of course, the government needs to be intentional about it. I'm seen in the local community, and I'm seeing what the government can do for them. Most of the rivers need to be dredged, so that when you have this heavy rainfall, or if a dam is open somewhere, the river can also take some of this excess water. But today, what we see, in the Niger Delta, we see that most of these rivers are still very shallow.
Indeed, a very, very robust analysis there from you, Charles Fakroha. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.
It's a pleasure.
Still to come after the break, the stock market on the Nigeria Exchange Limited on Thursday recorded a bearish tilt as the overall capitalization dropped by 5 billion naira. Details of that after this break. Don't go anywhere.